Hello everyone and welcome to Mr. Simplifies Tutorials. In this video we're going to look at SWOT analysis. So what is SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is a business tool that helps an organization assess its competitive advantages in the marketplace and understand its external environment at the same time. A SWOT analysis can be used as part of considering a new initiative or as a part of a change management program. So in terms of a change management program, it's normally done before we embark on the change. So it's done in the planning stages. So what does SWOT actually stand for? So SWOT is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So strengths and weaknesses are internal factors and opportunities and threats are external factors. Internal factors are factors which are well within the control of the business, so our strengths and weaknesses can be influenced by us as a business. And they help in identifying why we have a competitive advantage as a business. External factors are factors outside the business's control, but the business still needs to respond to them to still be competitive in the marketplace. Now, let's think about the SWOT analysis table. Let's look at a context to begin with, and you'll understand what I'm implying here. Let's presume that you're looking to invest in a new project that could bring in some potential benefits to the business. We run a SWOT analysis in this situation to understand where we currently stand and then how this project, this new initiative, can help us gain a competitive advantage or respond better to external factors, either by minimizing a threat or by exploiting an opportunity. So this is the context, and now we're going to look at how a SWOT analysis table is actually set up. You basically draw up 4 quadrants, is in a tabular form with strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats as the heading. Now, in terms of the in terms of the strengths, the first quadrant, what do we actually look to address here? We look at questions like, what do we actually do really well as a business? What do customers think that we do really well? What advantages do we hold? These are some of the considerations, some of the things to think about when it comes to understanding your strengths. In terms of weaknesses, we can think about what we receive complaints about, where we are vulnerable as a business. Is there something that can threaten the business as it exists today? In terms of the opportunities, what opportunities can this project open up? Because then it becomes more specific to the project. And now again, in a more generic sense, what does the market tell us? Is there an opportunity to be had here? Is there something that we are not doing at the moment which we should be doing? And is the project a means of doing it? In terms of the threat, can the project negatively affect business on a day-to-day basis? That can be a potential threat, because any project is a special initiative and is not considered to be business as usual. So, are there roadblocks to overcome for starting the project? So these are some tips to understand to be able to construct a good quality SWOT analysis table. And doing this will give you a clear picture in terms of the viability of the project, or in terms of a change management perspective. Doing this will help you understand if the change is actually desirable and viable for the business. Now, it's interesting to also observe that in many situations you could have the same factor listed in multiple categories. This is because a weakness today can also be an opportunity for improvement in the future. Now, let's look at some more tips to creating a robust SWOT table. It's important to get a varied perspective. It's important to get input from employees, from clients, suppliers, investors. These are important stakeholders for the business, and it's important to get high quality, reliable data from these individuals or departments to formulate the analysis. The points in the actual chart need to be brief and precise, because that's used normally as a presentation. You know, you're in a board meeting, or you're in a meeting to try and consider a project's viability. The facts can actually then be elaborated or detailed in reports or discussions at a later stage, but in terms of actually creating the SWOT table, the points need to be very brief and concise. The points in each section should ideally start from the most important factor under that heading to the least. So it should start each quadrant should start from the most important factor, leading to the least important factor. So there should also ideally, not compulsorily, but ideally, be a priority structure there. Now, a SWOT analysis, once done, should be preserved. It should be designed and preserved in a way so that it can be accessible at a later stage. This will also ensure that if it's easily accessible, it can ensure that revisions and comparisons can be made at a later stage in a meeting in the next quarter maybe. Now, a very easy to understand concept and a very easy to understand tool obviously has a number of shortcomings. Now, the major drawback of the model is that it can go out of date rather quickly. This is especially true for external factors now, because external factors tend to change rather quickly. Now, if the points in each quadrant aren't well constructed, the analysis can lack focus and can be overcrowded with too many facts with less relevance to the situation at hand. So it is therefore very important to actually think about each point in each quadrant and make it as specific as possible. Now, this is a very important point, because there is also always a possibility of a bias if the analysis is carried out by teams which actually make the strategic decisions in the organization. It is therefore ideal if a SWOT analysis for a particular project or a general decision-making intervention be carried out externally or independently by an organization which doesn't actually, beg your pardon, a group or an individual or a department that doesn't actually get involved in the strategic decision making in the organization. So efforts should be put in to try and reduce the level of bias in the analysis. Okay, I hope that was useful and that was simplified enough for you. I thank you as always for your attendance, and as always, feel free to leave feedback in the comments, feel free to like this video, subscribe to the channel, spread the word, and I will be making videos on a regular basis. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.